I met a gypsy.
Yeah, the World Vets was like the first real race. I did surfer cross, but
Yeah.
that was this year too.
Oh, so
and
that was your first real race.
World Vets. Yeah, that was like my first real
No
gate
sh-
drive. Yeah.
That's
yeah,
sick.
it was super fun. It was like a full childhood dream just to get to go like do a motocross race with some homies. It was cool.
So, had you ridden Glen Helen much before that?
One time in my life.
Dude, you just really threw yourself.
Just
in the
went
deep
for
end.
it. Yeah, no, that track was like, I'm glad that other gnarly pros said how gnarly the track was, because I felt like I was so out of my depth there. I was just surviving in my first moto. I was like, this is my pace. Whoever wants to pass me, if they're faster, good on them. But
Yeah.
like, this is how fast I can go on this track, because it was brutal. I could not find a clean line anywhere.
Bro, I trained so much for last year.
Yeah.
And I was just like, fucking, I'm ready. Like, just bring it on. And then I went and rode Friday with you guys for the practice. Was it Friday?
Yeah, Friday.
Yeah. And I was so fucking far off what I was a year ago.
I mean,
I was
that's what
like,
happens.
bro, this is actually insane.
It was scary.
It was fucking gnarly.
Those downhills were scary as
legitimately.
fuck. Like
I don't know
I
whether
felt like
it
I
was
was,
worse
I
last
felt like
year.
I was looking at like a double black at Mammoth with moguls on it, and I
Yeah.
was like, holy shit. I got to go down this thing at like a pace where I'm like competitive against people. That's fucking frightening. But
Yeah.
luckily Saturday, the track wasn't as bad as Friday. So
Yeah.
it made it feel like a little bit of a advantage, I guess. But
Dude, the Saturday last year was crazy.
I can't even imagine.
I don't know what happened to that track that day, but Sunday was nowhere near as bad.
Yep.
But the fucking Saturday was off its head.
Yeah.
And I was just, but it was pretty similar to Friday, to be honest.
Yeah, it was just like I'd be going up the hill and I literally felt like I hit a curb and my bike just stopped and I just start spinning up the hill. I'm like I'm not even gonna make it up like Mount St. Helen right now. Like that's how jacked the track was.
You're so lucky you're on a Stark.
Yeah, it was really cool of them to hook me up and do that for me, because I could, I can ride, like I'm not like
you
a
ride good,
terrible
yeah,
rider, but like having a handbrake down those hills I personally liked that a lot more than having to worry about getting my foot over it on the brake, because I just pinch the bike and rip the brakes and just hope for the best.
Yeah. When we left, I said to Rones, like, this is the equivalent of like being an okay surfer
Yeah.
and paddling out in like 10-foot face waves.
Yeah, like pipeline.
And just getting fucking annihilated.
Yeah.
And you survive and it's cool and you don't drown and you don't get injured and you don't die. But you go in on the beach being like, holy fuck, I'm not very good at surfing.
You're like, I didn't ride today. I survived. Like, I was not, the track was riding me. I was not riding that track, but it was cool because Trevor on Friday let me follow him for like 2 laps, and he was like, just watch my lines. And I followed his lines, and that actually helped a lot for my moto on Saturday, because even when it was really rough, I was able to find like the least rough section I could, I guess, because his lines were just perfect everywhere.
Yeah, he's a fucking freak.
Yeah,
there,
he's
dude.
super cool. I like him because I feel like I can relate to him more as like he's more like a skater, I guess, versus like a moto dude. And even though like all the moto dudes are super rad and like they're my homies too, but Trevor has more of like he just has a different outlook that is more like in tune with skateboarding, I guess. But he's just a monster on that track,
Dude. And the podcast, when he was talking about like how many laps he's done there, fuck, it was cool.
Yeah.
Like, I get it. When you watch him ride, him around that track, you're just seeing thousands of laps.
Yeah.
You're just seeing a guy that knows that like a surf break.
Yeah, he
like
could probably
knows the reef. He knows
like he said,
the
he
winds.
could at night probably ride it with no lights, like he was saying, like
Probably could, eh?
because he just knows that track so well, which is pretty cool. Like that's sick to have that on your gravestone. Like when you're done riding, is like
I was
the king
best
of Glen Helen. Like
Yeah.
a track like that, is like that's just such a monster of a track that everyone races at. Everyone is ridden, and for it to be like almost unanimous that it's like this time and place, like right now, Trevor is like that king of that track.
And seeing him on a Stark there,
Pretty sick.
fuck.
Yeah.
Just fully ripping that.
I mean,
thing.
dude, those things are so fun. Like, I get all the controversy. I understand people's opinions of combustion versus the electric. But for
Yeah.
me, as someone who's just like trying to have fun, that thing is so fucking fun that I ride that thing anytime I get the chance.
Oh, and just the ease of use.
Totally.
Just to get out there, not changing gears.
Well, it's so
no
user
mechanical
friendly.
work.
Yeah, exactly. And it's like,
slide the little bar. I feel like a pussy today.
yeah,
Today
exactly.
I feel great.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, dude, going up those hills on that thing was definitely a lot more fun than trying to fucking jam gears and do all that stuff. But I've ridden, a combustion bike my whole life up until only like maybe a month before the Glen Helen race. So it was still pretty new to me, but I just went for it. I was just like, fuck it. I'll just send it.
Yeah. Yeah, did you pass many people on the hills? Up?
So the first moto, I pulled maybe like 6 out of the gate, I think.
Yeah.
And then I was probably there for maybe 2 turns. And then we were talking about this earlier, like I just tripped on after the event, like the sandbagging that goes on in motocross. Because in skateboarding, there's no such thing. You can't sandbag. Like you can't, it's just you versus you. There's no one to, there is competition, but there's no...
there's no like grades.
It doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
The competition side of skating really doesn't matter. Like the industry doesn't care about contests, which is complete polar opposite to motocross. But yeah, I mean the dudes in the top 15, and I was a novice, 30 plus novice, and the dudes in the top 15 were running like fast intermediate lap times, some expert lap times, which is crazy to me that someone would do that. I don't care personally because I don't give a fuck where I finished. I was like, I'm just here for fun. But I could see how if you were there to like take it seriously and you've been maybe, putting in a lot of work and you're more of a newer rider and then you just get smoked by someone who should be in the top 15 in the expert class, that probably would kind of suck. Like if that's your thing. But so they took the top 20. There was like 75 people in novice and 30 plus novice. So they had 2 gate drops. They took the top 20 from those 2, I think, and made it one fast class, which is like novice A, and then the whatever people below it were B. And I think I got 21st, so I was like technically the
First
fastest.
qualifier.
I was the fastest slow guy.
Yeah.
And so in my moto, I won my second moto, which was pretty cool because I had never raced a race, and I was leading, and I was like, holy shit, this is crazy. And I kept seeing look back the guy, and I would be gapping him a little more, and I was like, just don't make a mistake. And I caught the gate in front of us and passed a few people, and that's when I passed people up the hill, which is pretty cool because I was like, it was second moto on Sunday, and so the track was really good, and so I was just like, I'm just pinning it. Like down the hills, I was just fully on the gas going or whatever sick. On the throttle, and I caught people in front of us and passed a few up the hill and forgot my gloves, so I had no gloves in the race.
What the fuck?
We got to I had my gloves with me, and I was the second gate drop, and I did the first gate drop the day before. So you have plenty of time to like, all right, like everyone starts firing up their bikes, and I'm sitting there, and the first gate drop goes, and then I'm like, oh yeah, fuck, like I just roll up and go. Like it's not like a whole nother thing. So I'm like, trying to put my gloves on, and then I'm like, fuck it. I just threw them on the ground, and Ryan Ritter, who helped me like get the Stark and stuff, he's just like, are you sure? And I was just like, fuck it. I just fucking bent down and just went for it, and I got the whole shot and then led the whole time. It was pretty cool.
Have you got any photos of you without gloves?
Oh yeah, there's a bunch. Someone posted something about it, like some dirt moto magazine or something, like
that's so
saying
sick.
Something about it. But
is it on your Instagram?
No.
Or would it be like your tag? Would you be tagged in it?
I don't think I have the tagged available on mine.
Right. That's iconic, bro. Winning a
pretty
moto
funny.
at Glen Helen without
Dude, I was sweaty and my hands were falling all over the place. Oh, actually, you know what? In the straightaway clip on this, I don't have them on. But yeah, it was fun, dude. I was like getting to live out my childhood dreams of just racing dirt bikes and having fun with my homies. But it was pretty sick. I think, yeah, right there, no gloves.
No way, dude. Is that Trevor Stewart?
Dude, I was fucking on the rails right there.
That is fucking legendary,
But
bro.
it was pretty funny.
Oh,
But it almost like fit the vibe of a skate dude riding moto. Like I just had my flannel on and no gloves, and I was like, fuck it. I mean, I'm not that much of a kook. I just promise I forgot my gloves. But at the end of the day, I was like, whatever. I was leading my race, so this isn't my thing. I'll take it.
Dude, that's fucking cool.
It was fun though. I had so much fun. Like everyone was so cool, and it was cool to get to watch dudes like Trevor like like that's his shit.
Bro,
Like,
how are those fucking fast guys there?
yeah, it was gnarly. It was super gnarly.
Oh, and they just send it. Like him and Mosman.
Yeah, that was a good battle all weekend.
Crazy battle, man.
Yeah, that was cool to watch.
Couldn't be more different people too.
Yeah, I
like
know,
both
it's
just
literally
legends in their own
polar
right.
opposites.
Yeah.
But I felt it was harsh how they had so many gate drops on the 25 plus pro because like they were getting caught up in people within like the first 2 laps, and it was like they were just zigzagging people the whole time. And I mean, obviously that's maybe where Trevor's knowledge of the track ultimately put him on top because he just was able to bounce around wherever. But yeah, you had like, I think it was, I don't know, like 50 plus intermediate out there with the 25 plus pros or something. Like that's a lot of
Glen
different
Helen,
speeds.
I'll take your money.
Yeah, seriously.
Oh, yeah. You want to go? Yeah, fuck it. We'll just add
A lot of different skill levels on the track all weekend at the same time.
Yeah, they're just like, line them up, boys.
Yep,
Let's fucking go.
Let's go. But yeah, it was brutal. I saw a photo that Phil Nicoletti put on Instagram, and it just looked, it looked like not even like
hill?
a track. It looked like a hill climb in like Beaumont or something. It looked ridiculous.
Well, on the Friday, I just thought I pulled off the second practice because I'm like, oh, I broke my forks.
Oh yeah.
And they're just like, nah, that's a bro.
Look at that war zone, dude.
Oh. And then look at on the other
I was
side.
bouncing off every single one of those curbs going up, and like it felt like I was sacking a handrail when I would hit the bike, and my seat would just hit my balls as hard as possible. I was like, oh.
If you enjoyed this content, please like and subscribe. And to listen to the full 3-hour podcast, search Gypsy Tales in your favorite podcast platform or click the link in the description below. Gypsy Gang.